Shalom, and welcome to the Shmooze Views podcast. I am your host, Shmuel Ben Shlomi. I want to encourage everyone to subscribe to our channel. You can find us on Rumble and YouTube and on the Shmooze Views Locals community. Also, would encourage you to hit the notification bell, the like button, and share this video with others. Today, I want to talk to you about what is Judaism? What is a Jew? Is it a race, or is it a religion? Well, the answer is complicated, at least to some, including many Jews. It is in reality both. To qualify as a religion, Judaism must adhere to a certain body of ideas, concepts, rules, laws or commandments to be followed. Certainly, Judaism is all that, being composed of a list of commands given by the Creator and listed in a law code known as the Torah, or instruction, consisting of a total of 613 mitzvot, or commandments, governing one's behavior, attitude, daily practices, and organization of worship of said Creator. Now, there was a time when Judaism was thought to be only a religion and not a race. That view is still held by a great many Jews in the 21st century CE, even those Jews who are not particularly religious in their day-to-day practice of Judaism. As a religion, Judaism has been around as an organized system of religious codex for 3,300 years under the tutelage of Moses. However, as a race, Judaism is nearly 4,300 years old, beginning with the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the first recorded family to begin the idea of monotheism, the belief in one and only one supreme God. While this ideal of one God may have begun with the family of Abraham, but the concept didn't fully catch on with the Jewish people and their descendants until sometime after 586 BCE, during and immediately after the Babylonian exile of the Jewish elite from Israel to Babylon. When King Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Jerusalem and leveled Solomon's temple in the 6th century BCE. Until that time, the idea of monotheism was not quite viewed as it is today in Judaism. While God, known by the acronym of Yod-He-Vav-He, was seen as the supreme God, he was regarded as the head of a pantheon of lesser gods. Some just called them angels. Now, after the 70-year Babylonian exile ended and the Jews were allowed to return to Jerusalem under the reign of the Persian king Cyrus, Jews were led by predominantly three men: Zerubbabel, appointed governor of Israel and overseer of the rebuilding of the temple; Nehemiah, who became the mayor of Jerusalem; and a scribe by the name of Ezra, who became the religious leader at the time and began a very, very successful campaign to teach that Yod-He-Vav-He was not only the head deity, but the only deity. Ezra eliminated all other gods as non-existent and set Judaism on a path of true monotheism, calling on all Jews to strictly live by the commandments of the Torah, laying the foundation of God's oneness as expressed in Deuteronomy 6:4, Devarim 6:4, that says, Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listen, Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. That idea finally became firmly entrenched in the minds of Jews to this very day. Now, when we speak of Jews being a race of people, it is not to imply that Jews are an ethnic group. Ethnicity implies certain physical and character traits. Nothing of the sort can be gleaned from that approach. Jews come in all sizes, shapes, colors, and so forth. Before the age of genetics, it was thought that Judaism was purely a religion. However, with DNA testing, it has shown now that the Jewish people can be identified as a distinct race of people, particularly one group of Jews known as the Kohen, or priestly group. DNA grouping can also distinguish between two specific Jewish subgroups called the Sephardim and the Ashkenazi. As genetic research continues to advance, I have little doubt there will be other specific DNA markers that will distinguish Jews as a unique race of people. Now, Judaism as a religion does have adherents who are not racially identified as Jewish. They are converts to the religion of Judaism and are considered as much a Jew as someone who is genetically a Jew. Just as non-religious or even atheistic and agnostic Jews are still considered Jewish as well. Now, there was a time when those who held to the ideas that I'm presenting here were considered anti-Semitic for thinking Judaism was both a race and a religion. This was mostly engendered from the horrendous display of Jew hatred during Nazi-era Germany under the tyrant Adolf Hitler. He considered Jews to be both a race and a religion, and that stigma has remained as a burning point of contention even to this day. But that is slowly changing due to the continued medical and scientific discoveries and advancements with genetics. Another way to see Judaism is like a family. The late and great Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz loved comparing Jews to a very, very large family. The rabbi's idea of family further supports the racial element of Judaism. All Jews can trace their physical lineage back to those patriarchs and matriarchs, Abraham, Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and his wives, Leah and Rachel and his concubines. Their blood, their DNA, flows through the veins and corpuscles of every Jew that has ever lived, is living now, and will live in the future. Those who converted to Judaism, the religion, while racially not Jews, are still linked to the patriarchs and matriarchs as spiritual descendants. I have little doubt that this debate over what is Judaism and what is a Jew will continue for many, many years to come, or at least until the preponderance of genetic evidence will finally lay this question to rest, at least for those willing to put their prejudice against such an idea behind them. In closing, I am a Jew. I am both genetically and religiously so. I have no problem accepting the fact of life that I am both a physical Jew and a religious Jew. At least for me, the evidence for both is overwhelming, period. I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. You can leave your comments, your questions below, or you can send them to me via email at shmoo@startmail.com, shmu@startmail.com. Or you can stop over at our Shmoo's Views Locals community and leave your questions or your comments there. I also want to direct you to a video by a man named Matt Baker, who I watch very frequently. His site on YouTube is called Useful Charts, and he has a chart on the history of Judaism. And it's very, very good and well put together. So I highly recommend his site. I will leave a link to that as well as the references that I pointed to below this video in the description of this video. So until we see each other again, I want to wish you all a very beautiful day and wish you a Shabbat coming up, very happy Shabbat, and a good Shalom.